Francesco Garripoli, and I welcome you to another Wuji Mountain Musings. Today we'll look at number 885 from my new book, Qi Effect. This one looks interesting. Let's see what it says. Isn't it amazing when we start to really listen to our bodies and notice what does and doesn't serve our temple? The wisdom we carry at our cellular level is deep. It just takes us to honor it, stay aware, and then just be in awe of how simple it really is. Taking action on what we know is required, and then it's much easier when we are in loving relationship with our body temple. Being in a loving relationship with our body temple. Isn't that interesting? How often do we forget that we have a relationship with our body? We actually have a relationship with our body, our most important relationship in our life. You might think be with your wife or your husband, with your partner, with your children. But what good are you to them, to your business partners, if you don't have first that relationship with your body? And that sounds silly because you say, well, it's your body, so you have to be in relationship with it. Well, what kind of relationship do you typically have with your body? You're complaining about it. You're wishing it looked better. You wish it was thinner or heavier or younger. You see, imagine if you treated a person in a relationship the way you treat your body. And I know this about people. I mean, we teach the organ cleansing Qigong, Qigong course instructor certification level. And when we discuss what it means to have a relationship with your organs and your body, we explore the verbiage and the language that we typically have with talking to our body, and it's not always good. So to build that relationship, to rebuild that relationship is key. And I think when we can explore that on a deeper level and understand what it means to build a loving relationship with your body, you start to catch all the ways that you complain and judge, right? And wish otherwise about your own body. And your body is your temple. Your body is what you carry with you, not just as the physical, we'll call it, holder of your consciousness, which of course it is. Your body's more than that. And we forget about this aspect. Your body is the carrier of your epigenetic, historic, ancestral information. Now, many times we may think of that in terms of survival mind stuff. You know, it's the ancestral fear, fight, or flight response. It's the ancestral sex drive. It's the ancestral eating and digestive things that's on our sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems. But it's much more than that. It's the one piece that we typically miss when we talk about our body temple. And just like in ancient times, temples were religious structures. Those religious structures also held not only the sacred objects and the artifacts, but they actually contained information, libraries of information, many times, about the history of that religion or that spirituality. Your body is exactly the same way. Can you remember for a moment that your body carries your temple library of information, your ancestral line, typically the maternal or your mother's line of information, because it typically comes through the mitochondrial DNA, okay, deoxyribonucleic acid. This information, this coherent crystalline protein structure of your body carries information that goes back through ancestry. Your parents, grandparents, great-parents, but actually even farther. To the very beginning of the human species, you are carrying all the wisdom. Yes, you're carrying the pain and trauma as well, but that's why we practice meditation and Qigong and yoga, things like this, so we can be able to understand how to recognize what's yours and what's not yours. And what's not yours is a lot of these program conditional memories and propensities that drive you in ways that you recognize aren't you, but that's in your temple. That we can work on. What's also in your temple is the library, the archives of your ancestral wisdom. This is the wisdom that reminds you that you're more than just a physical body. You're not just consciousness held together in this cellular structure so you can be able to talk with your mouth and see with your eyes and hear with your ears. Those five senses are only the first step in this body temple's awareness and your journey on this planet, in this dimension. So to respect your body temple, to make that relationship with your body really work in its optimal way in this short time you have called life, the dreaming we call life on earth, is to reestablish the relationship you have with your body. And that's why we practice things like Tai Chi and Qigong and yoga. It's why we exercise. But when exercise is merged with meditation and self-awareness and introspection, this interoception that brings that awareness from the inside up, you start to tap into your subconscious wisdom, because that ancestral temple library is stored in your DNA inside every cell of your body. So think about what you can do to change the relationship with your body. Okay. It's not just looking in the mirror and saying, oh, I love the way I look. That's a good start to accept yourself, but to go deeper is key. To be able to do some moving practice like Qigong, where you start to feel your body and respect your body. And when you recognize aches or pains or limitations, just like in any relationship, you start a dialogue with your body and ask it, what are you communicating? I understand pain and other kinds of limitations, illnesses, or even communications at the body subconscious level in the language it speaks. So when we tap into our subconscious, when we recognize the sacred temple of our body, we can begin a new dialogue and a new relationship and enter that temple from the intuitive heart resonant mind and enter that relationship with your body cell by cell, body part by body part, until you can understand that this relationship is your most precious relationship. And when this relationship is set in a harmonic way that's resonant with your heart, all your other relationships will start to shift. So start here at home. Start to love your body. Remember that love is where you place your heart resonant focus. It's not easy. Yeah, sure, sometimes it could be very frustrating. You look at your body, it's not working the way you thought it should work. It's not as young as it used to be. It maybe not be as efficient as somebody else's body. All those kind of languaging we have. It's time to shift that. And once we come back and we fall in love with this body, heart resonant focus, watch what happens. Just like in any relationship, when the communication gets better, you'll start to discover things that were submerged, that created the subconscious issues that you could never understand where they were coming from. When it's brought into the light of the heart, everything will change. So trust that and practice it in the way you can. And use your Qigong practice as a way, a pathway into that new relationship with your body, mind, and spirit. Peace.